I know yesterday we talked about how to make these decisions on whether to make a split or to keep the hive together. And a lot of you have been asking me, David, how do I decide if I should keep my hive together as one hive this season, or should I split them? How do I make that decision? Hey friends, David Burns with you today, and I'm excited about it today because I'm going to give you a good rule of thumb where you can apply this when you're trying to decide, should I keep this big hive together for honey production? You know, if I split them, what's going to happen? Will my honey supply go down this year? Should I keep them together, or should I make that split? Because if I don't, maybe they're going to swarm anyway. A lot of you may not want to make a split. You want this hive maybe to be your best honey producing hive ever. But if you don't make a split, it's going to swarm on you because all colonies, all healthy bees are going to want to swarm. And so in this case, this colony is going to swarm because they're healthy, they're big, they overwintered well, there's a lot of bees in there. That's just nature. If they didn't do that, we would lose bees. Every year we would just have less and less bees. If they didn't reproduce, we wouldn't have any bees in our country, anywhere. So they have to reproduce. So in my situation here, if I wanted to keep this colony as a single organism without making a split, just one hive, there's some tricks that I can use. And one of them is that I can keep inspecting it about every 7 days, every 7 to 10 days, once a week, and I would desperately inspect it very carefully for any swarm cells. I'm going to tear those out after I know the queen is walking around in there. I have to first find my original queen, mark her, and then now I can start tearing out swarm cells. I can use them in other hives, let them raise queens from those cells, so forth. But you know, that's the thing I'm talking about, is that it is labor intense to initiate swarm control. But you can do it, and if you want to make honey, you want all those bees in there to be your workforce. See, if you split them, you're losing a lot of bees in your split. Here's my rule of thumb. Here's what I like to think about. If I want more hives, I'm going to split them this year so I can have more honey next year. If I want more honey this year, I'm going to keep my hives together, not going to split them. I'm going to do swarm control during the swarm season so that they can have more bees in there to make more honey. And that's crucial. So you have to decide, what do you want? You want more colonies for next year? Split them. You want more honey for this year? Keep them together, do swarm control. There's just amazing amounts of ways that you can prevent swarming. We are not perfect. And these methods that are so many of them that you can apply for swarm control, they're not perfect either. Bees can still swarm, and maybe you'll miss a queen cell or something. They can still swarm even though you're trying your best to prevent it. I have got a really special live stream planned for Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Time with Dr. John Zavishlak. We're good friends. We've worked together a lot. He's going to be on board at the live stream chatting with me. We're going to be talking about swarm control, some methods that many beekeepers use when they want to keep their hive together, keeping it from swarming away. So join me Thursday night, and let me just say a big thank you for all of you that have been supporting my live streams. I really appreciate it. A lot of you have been leaving some super chats. You've been making donations during the live stream, and I really appreciate that a lot. I want to give a shout out right here on the screen today for those of you that have been contributing, donating money. You know, it's not free to those of us that make content. We have a lot of camera equipment expenses, internet expenses, and I like to use the money that you donate so that I can buy different types of equipment, different types of chemicals, and I can run different experiments. That takes a lot of money too. Nobody's donating equipment for me to do all this, so I'm using your donations to actually do more backyard experiments, to try different kind of hives like the round hive that we did last year. It's going to be really helpful. So if that's something you want to do, please be thinking about that for Thursday night's live stream. I appreciate it. I know many of you may be starting out for the first time this year, and I'm so excited that you are. I'm glad I'm able to help you. Many of you have told me that I helped you start in beekeeping. So a lot of you starting out in good hands, thank you so much. Please check out my online beekeeping classes. I've got them right here. You can copy this link. If you're watching from a television, write this down. Go to your computer and check out my online courses, or I'll leave links in the description below as well. Also, if you haven't bought packages of bees yet, and if you live near us in Central Illinois, we are still selling packages of bees and 5-frame nukes for this spring. So check that out in the description as well, or check out our website at Honeybees Online. Thanks so much for asking questions in the comments. I really appreciate having a community we can talk about, and even in live stream you guys are asking a lot of questions, but as you know, I can't get to every question, and I wish I could. I wish I could answer all of your questions, but I want to encourage you to consider being a part of my mentorship program. It helps me out a lot to have you guys be able to get a hold of me better through Bee Team 6. This is something I've done for years, where I mentor 200 people across the U.S. beekeepers, and you have access to my personal cell phone. You can call or text me or email me, and I can get right on your question or something you're dealing with. You can send me pictures. What is this in my hive, David? And I can get back to you really quickly and say, don't burn it yet. It's not that bad. Sometimes you have to kind of like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And if you leave a comment, I may not see a comment on YouTube for 3 or 4 days, you know, and by then you've already made a mistake maybe. So I'll leave a link right here in the scene here. You can copy this down and go to your computer, check it out. Or I'll leave a link in the description for Bee Team 6. Consider joining me in Bee Team 6. And if you didn't see yesterday's video, many of you may not have missed it. It is all about talking about swarm controls, making splits. You got to watch that one because it leads into this one. If you missed it, here it is right here. I'll see you over there.